This news law is brought to you by NHTSA. Whether you get pulled over or get into a crash, drinking and driving will change your whole world. Drive sober, woo woo, or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA. So this week's news law is going to be the road ahead for the Bills. And we have 3 different things that we're going to talk about in specifics. So number 1, how do they plan? Number 2, how do they prepare? Number 3, how do they strategize? Are you ready, Peggy?
I'm ready, bud.
Let's rock and roll. So, from what we do know, Josh Allen is a guarantee to be in the postseason.
Yes.
How do you plan to have postseason success? You might ask. Now, we have a good buddy here by Brendan. Brendan, who are they planning on playing in the first week of the playoffs if the season ended today?
The Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos. Now, I'll say it like this.
Bo Nix versus Allen.
No matter who the matchup is,
Okay.
you still have to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And what you mean by that?
You still have to play. Don't go into it with the situation and think, oh, man, we just playing the Denver Broncos. Psh, we straight. We good. The rookie quarterback, psh, we straight. We good. Because, bruh, upsets.
Sean Payton, the real, too.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. So you can't overlook anybody. Plan and focus on every single matchup. Play by play.
Mm-hmm.
Don't assume that y'all going to beat the Denver Broncos. You got to go do it. It's a new season every week. Now, the next thing, prepare is going hand to hand with planning. Bro, you have to prepare your ass off. And honestly, you don't necessarily know as scouts.
Okay.
You don't know who you're going to play next week because anybody can
win.
You got 2 teams that most scouts are planning for, right? Mm-hmm. So they're trying to get a head start. You don't necessarily know. That preparation is in overdrive now. So normally who you would have to play, you already know is set in stone. Now, 2, when you're preparing for 2 different teams and you don't necessarily know, all that could be for naught if y'all don't win the game.
Yeah.
Now, that's a hell of a position.
And even the lead up to that, the next 4 games, they got the Lions, and it's at Detroit. All right. Then they have the Patriots at home, the Jets at home, and then they're in New England. All right. And they clinched, like you said, they clinched the division at 10-3 with their 10-3 record. So, I mean, they got a few people injured right now. I mean, Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid, Rasul Douglas, and Casey Toohill are, on the injury report right now, but they got to get healthy to get right.
But it ain't like it's Detroit's. Detroit got, what I believe, 11 or 13 players on the hour.
Yeah, so they banged up.
But those aren't really hurtful injuries. Mm-hmm. They could play through those. Some of them can. Like if this was the playoff, will some of them play? Potentially. Mm-hmm. But they have to prepare their ass off.
So let me ask you, even with the preparation, question for you. Do you think they can get over the hump and beat Mahomes? Even though the Chiefs aren't the quote-unquote Chiefs as the old now, they still are winning. The fashion of them winning is not the same. But right now, Allen sits 0-3 against Mahomes in the playoffs. Do you think this year, the way Allen is playing, his last game, he had 3 passing and 3 rushing touchdowns. He's literally putting the team on his back. He's one of the favorites to win MVP. Do you feel like this is the time that Allen will get over the hump of Mahomes?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because, bro, he's playing like an MVP. Mm-hmm. But if he don't got a good game,
do he have anybody around him to pick him up if he don't?
I hope so. Because that's the overall, like, bro, Josh Allen he's had one of the best years of his career.
Correct.
This year.
Mm-hmm.
And you eliminate, the question going in was, what do you do with Davis gone, the receiver? What do you do with Diggs gone, the receiver? A lot of different personalities. Now you get a whole locker room to Josh Allen. He didn't let us down.
Yeah.
Brandon Beane, GM, did his big one with that one.
Yeah.
Sean McDermott, big one. Cool. But don't nobody really talk about Josh Allen underperforming versus Patrick Mahomes. Like we always say, Lamar Jackson. Oh, like Lamar Jackson. Man, keep that same energy. And granted, I get it. He doesn't have a decorated career like Lamar Jackson.
Correct.
Doesn't have a
MVP.
a MVP. I don't even know if Josh Allen has been a all-pro player yet. Because when you look at the league of supers of that division, you got Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
It only could be one, potentially two, at second team All-Pro.
Boy, you battling, boy.
Fight. He's never been All-Pro.
No.
Yeah, that's tough. But 2 Pro Bowls.
Yeah. And I have a question for you. So you, in 2015 or the 2014 season, you guys lost to the Seahawks in the divisional round. And then the next year, you guys came back and beat them in the divisional round. So if you're the Bills, is it more of an advantage that you played them last year and you have another opportunity, or like is it going the other way and it's more of an advantage for the Chiefs? Like, how do you get over that hump of the team that's been holding you back?
I don't know. It's kind of hard because those games are won differently. You know what I'm saying? Like,
each game is its own game.
Each game is its own game. And you can't say like, okay, they beat us, so we got to beat them. Yeah, that's the outside looking in. But inside looking out, when we lost to them in a divisional game that year, like, we were in it until I threw a pick 6 late, and then that's when the game got out of hand. It was like, damn, fuck. Then the following year, they stormed back because we was beating them like 28-7 or some shit at halftime. And then we only had 3 points in the second half that just like, thankfully, we had held on. And an onside kick later on, it was like, bro, this is how this shit always go. Yeah. But for the Bills, they got to go into it and prepare. Each week is its own new week. But strategizing, to our last point, strategizing and knowing who's at the top of the mountain. Yeah. It's still Patrick Mahomes. It's still the Kansas City Chiefs. It's still all roads point back to Arrowhead. Keeping that in mind, in order to have some type of vision, you got to have direction. You got to know where you're going. Yeah. So prepare your fucking ass off, playing each week with the understanding that each week is its own new week. The playoffs flushes all bullshit week by week, day by day, and puts the onus of every single play. So if y'all could do that, Josh Allen, have no doubt in my mind that you can be representing the AFC in the Super Bowl.
One last thing is, you know how they say in the NBA the playoffs is just different? Like the intensity, the defense. Sure. Is that a thing in the NFL? Would you say that the games feel different?
The stakes are higher. Yeah. Stakes are higher in any playoff scenario. More so in the NFL because you don't have a best of 7 type of situation. Every play counts. Every down counts. All edges and all scenarios and implications count. You feel me? If it's going to rain, we need to know that. We need to plan for that. If it's going to be in snow, we need to plan for that. If it's going to be cold, are you playing in the dome? These circumstances does matter. Yeah. And everybody got to be on the A game, starting from the kicker, the punter, the damn backup player, because you don't know who could be the difference maker and that person making a play for that team to win.
All right, so Cam, with all that you have said, do you think this is the year that the Buffalo Bills will show up in the Super Bowl? And who is your prediction? If it's not them, who?
Man, the last couple of weeks, we can very well be seeing snippets of Super Bowl matchups. Who was it that played? The Eagles played
the Ravens.
Yes, the Eagles played the Ravens. That could be a matchup. We're seeing a potential matchup here: Detroit versus Buffalo.
Yeah,
it can happen.
That's yeah.
Come on now. So yeah, do they have the bandwidth to play for the Super Bowl? Yeah, hell yeah. anything can happen in the playoffs. Playoffs? Yeah. But that's it, man. Make sure you plan, make sure you prepare, and make sure you strategize. And that, my friend, is brought to you by NHTSA.